Hey, as the owner of a law firm, there's some good news and there's some bad news. The good news is we're about to enter an era where there is more profit to be made in law than likely any other business on the planet. The bad news, it's not going to last for long. My name is Richard James, and I've been working with law firm owners for over 18 years now. And I've been looking at what's coming down the road, and what it's not coming, it's here today, is the use of artificial intelligence, AI. We just finished a conference where I was with 100 law firm owners, and we broke them up into different groups: advanced, intermediate, and beginners. There was about a third of the group in advanced, about 40 to 50% of the group in intermediate, and then the rest were in the beginners class. A very small percentage of the total group was not knowing exactly what to do with AI and not using it at some level. And a third of the group was using AI agents, which means these agents were actually doing work in the law firm. That means that expenses for a law firm are going to go down while prices remain the same. Today, I'm going to break down the things you need to know and the actions you need to take to both maximize today's value and protect yourself from what's going to happen at some point in the future. So let me share with you a chart to maybe paint the picture for you. This is what your law firm is going to be like with AI in the future. The top line is pricing, the middle line is overhead, and the bottom line is demand. When AI is adopted more and more into business, the demand for legal services are going to go up. And that's probably because unemployment is going to go up. And we're going to see more people needing legal services for divorce and bankruptcy and criminal issues, DUIs, all that stuff. We've seen that happen. Also, the population is still going up, so more and more people are going to need legal services, generally speaking. That's not going to be affected by AI. Prices are going to hold about steady. We are about at the top of the pricing market right now for legal services. Assuming you're in our world, you're definitely at the right price that you should be charging. And what we're going to see is expenses are going to go down. And the reason expenses are going to go down is because number one cost in a law firm is labor costs. It should represent no more than, but somewhere in around 45% of your total revenues. And so 45% of your revenues goes towards labor. That's with your market-based salary for the owner. And if your spouse is working in the business, their market-based salary. It includes taxes, it includes benefits. That means that this number is going to keep going down because AI that does work in a law firm is going to start doing more and more work. And whether you choose to lay people off or you just choose to drive more business because you have more capacity without adding more staff, which is what I'm hoping you do. I'm hoping you don't lay people off. I don't want you to be part of the problem. I'm hoping what you do is you keep your staff the same and you increase the amount of revenue you generate per staff. Somewhere in the future, we're going to end up in this commoditization. And the reason I know that is because I've seen it happen in many other industries. And so what we're going to see happen as more and more adoption of AI starts to pick up, and you have more pro se cases being filed for some case types, and you have more larger firms that step into markets and price suppress markets, they charge less, you're going to see that the availability of fees to you starts going down. Again, demand goes up, right? Your expenses go down, but we're going to see fees start to go down as well. Right now, this is the era where you can make as much money as ever has been possible to make in a law firm, and that's what you should do. Because this is a question mark as to exactly when this is going to happen, I don't know if this is going to be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. If you want more information about this, feel free to visit us at thestaffingroom.com. Happy to walk alongside you and give you some more insight around this. In law, we are a service-based industry, and the cost to provide services, if it's going down because AI is doing more of it, what's going to happen is your competitors are going to charge less. That happened in the funeral business. I own funeral homes for 10 years plus. And I watched the funeral business move from an average sale price of $10,000 to an average sales price of less than $1,000. For instance, when I sold my funeral homes in 2004, I was generating about $10,000 a case, roughly. It's not that it was less expensive to perform the services, it's that demand said they needed less services. In this case, people went from having 2 and 3 days of viewings and a casket and a burial to having cremation. And cost for cremation, it costs somewhere less than $50 in gas prices to cremate a body, plus the small amount of labor that's required to make that happen, which means the price efficiency or cost efficiency went down. And so the competitors coming into the market started taking business away from the funeral homes and charging less. So instead of charging $10,000, they're charging $1,000. And so we're not going to see law completely go away. We're going to see demand still be there. But because the cost to do business is going to come down so low, not because the demand says they want less services, but because it just costs less to provide those services, larger competitors are going to come in and start advertising on pricing. That's going to happen at some point in the future. I have a suspicion that it's going to happen in law a lot sooner. So the question is, what should you do about it? Right? Well, the first thing you should do before you do anything else is make sure that you maximize profits right now. In this zone where AI is starting to be used and you can reduce expenses and maximize profit because fees are going to stay the same, you want to make as much dough as you can so that when this change happens, if you don't want to play that game anymore, you can exit. You could take your pile of money and go do something else. You could retire, whatever. But make sure you make enough profit right now so that you'll be okay. Simultaneously, make sure you share that profit with your team. You got to make sure your team wins in this, because the team that you do have, they're going to be generating more revenue per teammate. So you should make sure they win and you do some profit share with them, whatever your bar association will allow through Rule 5.4. And of course, there's workarounds. And then realize that your client is going to win in a big way, because your work product is going to get better. Right now, humans make mistakes. What's going to happen is the AI is going to catch a lot of the mistakes, especially in those practice areas that have form-driven things or draft-driven things, that it's not litigation-based where you're stepping in and litigating a case. AI is obviously not going to take that over. But all on the process-based things, the research-based things, the form-fill things, we're going to find out that errors are going to stop being made. Also, presentation-based, where your staff is presenting to a prospect or to a client, AI is going to be able to measure the effectiveness of that presentation based on the way we outline it should have gone down. I want you to maximize the profit right now, which means your firm needs to start to adopt AI. The second thing I need you to do is I need you to start building a personal brand. Even if you plan on selling your firm someplace in the future, I need you to build the personal brand right now. The only thing that's going to differentiate you between those that are competing on price is your ability to have a solid personal brand. And so that means that you need to be creating content online. And some of you don't want to do it. And I get that. The good news is there are AI solutions and there are vendors who can do this for you and use software to create content in your image and your voice, and that you just have to approve it before it gets sent. I know it's scary, but you need to start creating your own personal brand. And if you can, make it as real as possible. The number one clients we have that see their business consistently going up have some form of a personal brand going on online. That's going to be your number one protection against this AI commoditization. That's just a reality. The good news is you can also leverage AI to create your online brand. Those two things are going to be your biggest offensive moves to ensure that you can maximize your profitability today and stay off the price competitors that are going to show up in the future. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is what you should not do, right? So what should you not do? I don't want you to become the AI expert. The problem is it's not my highest and best use, just straight up. So you want to make sure that you're working with somebody that can help you build the AI, that can identify if they fill that form out correctly. and take care of some of the nuanced situations and teach the AI, or what's called the LLM or the small LM, for your ability to have your law firm do a better job. There are basically two categories. Those who like love it, like they love AI, right? And the problem is they go down a rabbit hole. That's a mistake. It's not the highest and best use for the owner of the firm. We need to make sure we have a general leading the way from the inside war tent going, move this here, move that here, pull this lever. Feel free to dive in and have fun with it, but very quickly you need to move on from that. The other camp is that they're just not into it, right? Whatever it is that you need to do is you need to hire yourself an AI assistant. And really, we teach this whole process of skills testing and recruiting and going through that. So if you want more information about this, feel free to visit us at thestaffingroom.com. Happy to walk alongside you and give you some more insight around this. Yes, in the beginning, it's going to feel like you're building real leverage. I promise you, over time, you're going to find you're going down these black holes of AI, which you really need to be investing as the CEO of your firm. You should be able to maximize your profitability without sacrificing your life. If you don't know where to go, let's go get that AI assistant so that they can start helping you do this for you. And you can start leveraging the use of AI and agentic AI specifically to start performing some tasks and creating better workflows. We can drive more revenue for each employee, letting you win, the employee win, and the clients win, simultaneously building your internal brand. Hope this makes sense to you. Now is the time for you to go out and get some help so that you don't go down the rabbit hole too far of being the AI expert, or that you don't have to learn a new skill. Let somebody else do this for you. Let's get started.